Hey everybody, my name is John Lynch and I am doing 365 days of alternate day fasting, and today is day 212. It's been so long since my last video and I apologize for that. This month has been a crazy one. Over 3 weeks ago now, I had some dental surgery. I had some wisdom teeth taken out. I'm significantly better now, thankfully, but I was in a fair bit of pain for quite a while. How did that affect my fasting? Excellent question. The first thing let's talk about is adherence to my fast. So on the day of my surgery, it was supposed to be a fasting day. I decided that I literally just wanted to survive through the day, and so I wasn't going to fast that day. Now, I had the surgery, so I wasn't eating a huge amount afterwards. Most of the day spent sleeping. Basically, I had no energy to spend on thinking about my fasting, so I just bought myself a bunch of different crates of pudding and yogurts, which was pretty much the maximum that I was able to eat on that day. I kind of thought that I would have something a little more solid maybe later in the day, but I was really quickly disabused of that idea. I ate a little bit of yogurt later in the day. I'd just been eating custard, and turns out yogurt is actually a lot harder to eat than pudding is, and not just because pudding tastes awesome. Just that little bit of thicker consistency of the yogurt was enough to be quite a bit more painful. So that was the limit on my surgery day. The next day was supposed to be an eating day, and I didn't switch it. Sometimes when I'm doing these things, if I change it up, then the next day I'll just switch to a fasting day, but I was really in survival mode at this point. So I kept that as an eating day, and then basically more pudding, yogurt, a little bit of solid food added. But by the end of that day, I was quite sore. And because of the soreness, I was actually pretty pleased to come to my fasting day. I did the next day as a normal fasting day, and from that point on, was just completely normal in my fasting pattern. Nothing different. So really, there was only one day where I didn't follow my fasting diet. Now, how much would you expect my weight loss to be thrown off by that? I expected not all that much at all. I'd been having amazing weight loss results through the last month, and I expected a little stutter, a little plateau maybe from eating on my surgery day, but then right back to it. So color me surprised when the day after my surgery, I was up nearly 10 pounds on the scale. I didn't like it, but I did think it was pretty fascinating. Now, clearly, after the surgery for my teeth, I didn't eat 10 pounds of pudding, and so I realized pretty quickly that although these are real numbers from the scale, they actually couldn't be indicative of any weight gain. It just changed too quickly. Also, now, it's been over 3 weeks since my surgery, and I still haven't had a true new low on the scale. I have made some ground in my weight loss this week from what I counted as my low for last month. So like I already have kind of a new low technically, but it actually isn't a real low. I had a lower. So that is a real surprise to me. Yeah, I've not hit a lower day than before my surgery, but this interruption's coming to an end. Things are getting better. The scale is dropping down. I know that I'm going to come to new time soon that it becomes low. I'm not worried about it at all. So here's what I think happened. This surgery was really a stressful event for me. Now, I've had a lot of low level and constant stress over the past few years, but this was completely different. I was really worried. That means a huge jump in cortisol. Then I had the surgery, which means that my body has some actual damage to it. That's what the surgery does, which means more cortisol, also inflammation. And then I had quite a bit of pain afterwards for a couple of weeks, really, until it settled down, which means more cortisol again, and then also trouble sleeping. So I had pain in the day. But during the day, I would have times when it would be less. But at night, you have no distractions. So that was really difficult. You know, I would wake up in pain. My takeaway from all of this is just a real new sense of how stress and lack of sleep can really hinder your weight loss. So while food intake is obviously a key component of losing weight, I realized in a new way that there are other angles to look seriously at if you have trouble losing weight. Like, how stressed are you? How is your sleep? Are you in physical pain? These are all other components that impact weight loss. And if you are ever stuck in a plateau, it might be worth noticing if you have any of these problems in any of these areas, instead of just kind of doubling down on the food aspect of it. I was really lucky in this because it became so quickly obvious to me that this wasn't a fasting problem. I won't say that I liked it, but I will say that I gave myself all the slack in the world around this. I wasn't beating myself up for this at all. I really was just in survival mode and not worried too much. As a little aside, when you have your wisdom teeth taken out, you're not supposed to eat anything with seeds because they could get stuck in the wounds and cause some real problems. Now, some seeds are obvious, popcorn or sunflower seeds, but I actually realized that I eat a lot of things with seeds. Tomatoes, cucumbers, strawberries, so many things that I had to cut out and things that I really miss. Through the last month, I've been focusing on eating these amazing, tasty foods, doing recipes and trying stuff out. And so many of the spices that I use in these recipes are some type of seed, which basically meant that I had to cut out all of the tasty cooking that I used to be doing, including all my cool recipes that bulked up my hamburgers with great taste and, made it less meat. That might also have some sort of a dietary effect, but I don't think it's the big one, really. Anyway, turns out seeds are amazingly tasty. Who would have known? So that is what is going on in my world right now. I've healed a lot already, and still some ways to go, but I'm not in constant pain, at least. And in fact, my pain has dropped to a really manageable level, and I'm really hoping that it'll be completely gone, maybe in a week or so. I really hope so anyway. I also feel that my brain is coming back, which means that hopefully it'll be available for more videos soon. Anyway, my life is returning to normal, especially since this crazy heat wave broke here in Victoria. Hey, thanks everybody for all your support and for watching. And once again, you've reached the end of another video.